Hey, what is going on YouTube? This is Robert, and welcome back to some more pocket watching, some market watching for the One Piece card game or TCG, as well as some memes, because there have been some hilarious posts that have come out purely because of the fact that they might be, people being ironic, and such and sarcastic, but I think by the sheer volume of posts that people have seen that it's not, it's like the cold hard truth, because so many people have now got like into it. Oh god, it's terrible, isn't it? So yeah, we're just gonna jump straight into that. As per normal, let me know down below whether or not you've been watching any prices on anything, or whether you've paid for anything or sold anything, because I've seen so many sales that it's hard to keep up with things at this point. But we're going to go over sort of the biggest ones of the last couple of days or weeks, and then the big like drastic changes, I suppose. So first and foremost, we have to go over the fact that people already have EB03, even though the release isn't for 3 weeks, almost 4 weeks in the end, and people have been pulling a lot of the alt arts and cards in general, which is kind of irritating, isn't it? So speaking of EB03, obviously on the same sort of wavelength, we can mute that, and yeah, basically people on Whatnot already selling the packs because obviously they've already got boxes. Yeah, I mean, is that price point for an entire box 200, or is that to buy into it? I don't know at this point with Whatnot, I can't lie. I can't keep up with it, but basically they got the SP Koala. So, I mean, yeah, for whomever is getting that, congrats, because it's probably going to be an expensive card realistically because of how people are being currently with the boxes, because then you have funny tweets like this coming out where it's going to be a playset is going to be 1600, and I don't even think that's ironic. I feel like that's a lowball. I feel 1600 if that card's 400. No, I feel like honestly with how people are, it could be like 500 to like 1,000 just for like a single card of that. And if that happens, because I'm pretty sure yellow is like quite a current, like popular meta for playing. I'll be honest, I'm not up to date with anything to do with the decks and such, so I can't give an opinion on what's good, what's bad. But yeah, I basically saw that a lot of people said that because of how yellow is in currently, this is going to mess things up because a single like playset of cards is going to be like the most expensive ever. Of the same note, we will get onto this in a moment, but basically, yeah, there are places selling boxes for 700 a pop and people are paying it, and they've sold all of them. Like literally, if the place only paid like 8,000, maybe even less than that for their cases, it means they've made over, oh god, it's so bad. It's so bad. It literally means that they probably have made about 70,000 or 75,000 off of the cases that they've sold at this point in time, selling them at that amount. Can you believe that? Going into prices of things that have sold though outside of that, we will just look at this Luffy, OPO5 Luffy, obviously manga, everything. Gear 5 sold for 18,000. Beyond that, you also now have the SP Zoro selling for more than Mihawk. Can you believe that the second hit is now going to be, it will be more expensive than Mihawk, and the Raw is probably going to overtake it. By the time I go on and take a look, I'm pretty sure it's going to be more expensive. And that's just going to be one of those things. Now, I saw this that came up from Leo, which was basically the fact that, they went in, played 4-0, cool. They won't be attending their locals until further notice because the owner is selling cases to scalpers. They're out of boosters and everything. They're not paying. And basically what happened is that the local went from 25 people to 4 people because of that. And now the owners found displays and such and will listen to their demands of such. But yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? People going on about, oh, card shops have to survive as well. No. And for people who have complained about me complaining about shops charging more, this is also what happens. These are the consequences to their actions, So for anyone being like, you're just coping because you can't get a box for a certain price point. True, I might be upset because of that. But at the same time, this is also what can happen if you do that people just won't show up. And good luck if they did this on a continuous basis for their allocation. If they dropped down to 4 people playing and that was it for like 2-3 months, their allocation would definitely plummet. So yeah. One thing of a different nature that I did want to mention that I saw was that the first anniversary campaign for the French release is out, and this is a card that I want. I want this Whitebeard. I want this Edward Newgate. I really, really do. I love how it's got the first anniversary behind and everything, and I think that looks absolutely phenomenal. Look at that. Oh, with the flag behind and everything. Like, that's such a cool card. So yeah, so let's drop into a couple of just little memes and moments. First and foremost, you have this long old Facebook post. It was basically talking about the fact that Odin is going to be the same as like Ryuma, which isn't the same because it's not the same stamp, it's not the same thing, it's not even the same anyway, and yeah, they're trying to pump and dump. It's like the guy trying to pump that whole like Gengar army, like, thing is just, it's not going to happen. So next to that, we have someone commenting saying pulled from an ST13 starter deck. I didn't know they had manga in them. I'm just going to move on. People basically also buying the full displays of the starter deck for ST29 to get the alt arts, obviously, that are in the packs. So they're probably either going to send them off to be graded or probably sell them online. Yeah, this is happening very consistently. I'm not going to lie. This is probably one of the first in a while for starter decks, because I normally keep a track of most things, and a lot of them are still available. But this is probably the first in a while that I would say within 2 weeks is completely sold out everywhere. So now going back a little bit in time, I just wanted to show you the price of things just so that you keep in mind, because these shouldn't really have changed. So if anything has changed from your locals and such, now I do know that Bandai charged a little bit more, I'm not going to lie, because I got charged £107 when I went in store to get a box, whereas typically it's like 95, 100 you should, like the average that you can get them for. But yes, starter decks, basically $12, and then we have pack $5.38, box $129, double for $10. So if anything's more than that, it's not right, basically. And yeah, speaking of this, recently I wanted to buy the tin sets. I couldn't anywhere. That's fire. But for the people who said, you know what, these places actually charge like really fair prices. No. $9.99 is the price of the tin set. Some of them were $10.99 or $11.99. Can kind of understand. But one place in particular that I am not going to name want nearly £30 per tin set. Just one tin, £30. That is 3 times the retail. I have a right to complain. I do. EB03, right, this is the issue. Fresh case now available at Front Row Card Show. $680 a box. And they're selling for that. They're going to sell out at that. This is probably going to be one of the highest price point releases that we have seen ever for a box, just period. And depending on how popular it then becomes after the fact, it could literally be like 1,000 a box within like a month, just because of what people are doing to things. So, right, let's just go and check some of the price points across the board then, because basically OP13 has stabilized now. I say stabilized, prices have come down a bit and, you know, dithered and such, but they are all within that range, basically, of like 150, 200 for all the big cards, and a lot of the lower cards have come up a hefty amount. Yeah, even Smoker is up to like 90 now when they were like 70. Aces Parallel is 60. It was in and around like 70 or so, but obviously it's dropped down a bit. But yeah, I'd say across the board a lot of the cards are up like 10 to 20, which is kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you. So yeah, and I did say for OP14 that obviously like Mihawk was like the bigger card or the big card. Obviously there's the buggy cards, but I'm not including them because they're like a different type of rarity. But just in general, if you go off of the basis of typically it's like manga and then like an SP or an alt art leader is typically just below. The fact that Mihawk's is 1450 and Zoro out of stock is 1320 means that, to be honest, within a week or so that is probably going to go ahead. I mean, even Boa Hancock is 1,000. Like, that's insane. And the fact that the drop off is down to 300 after that and then it just goes right down is, I don't even know. It's actually crazy, isn't it? Like, that is ridiculous at this point in time. The pre-sale on Heroine's currently $6.50 for a case, $30 for a pack, and $5.15 latest on a booster box, $5.70. So the fact that people are willing to pay 680 is probably about right. Whoever paid 300, congrats to you, because you probably got a steal. Besides that, we can just check on the layout, I suppose, of cases and such. As I suspected, obviously, OP13 is now the third most expensive in terms of cases, just behind, obviously, OP01, OP05. Heroine's is also vastly ahead. You know, it's even gone ahead of PRB01. Yeah. And dropping down actually quite a number, which I had noticed, was the fact that OP09 and EB01 have also dropped a massive amount. Somehow OP04 has climbed up, and looking at the cards, like, why? No, like, genuinely, why? You could honestly buy every single card from this release for less than buying the full case and have so much left over that, yeah, I don't understand. I mean, you've got cards that for some reason, like, this is probably why a couple of, like, the cards that I had went, because, like, yeah, I don't get it. I mean, someone's got the Doflamingo up for 150, as the latest sale is 15. Like, what? So, yeah, I don't really understand, genuinely. I've got not an inkling. But yeah, that is going to cover this video. So let me know, obviously, what you've seen prices, why you think some prices have gone some ways. I think obviously the hype off of OP09 has sort of drifted because OP13 is more recent. It's been more promoted and pumped a bit more. But I truly didn't expect it to drop down below like OP04 and such. Like, the fact that it's at where it's at, I feel like it's going to dip even further. It's not going to dip to like 4,000, you know what I mean? Because that'd be stupid. But yeah, OP13 is just climbing like absolutely anything, and it's baffling, to be honest, because like a booster box is now worth more than an OP09 booster box, and it's sort of stabilized at like 650, 660. So, but yeah, that is going to cover it from me. So as always, like I say, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Whether or not you've got an early box, who knows? Whether or not you're going to have to go to a store to try and pick one up, or whether you pre-ordered if you're lucky enough to do so. But yeah, that'll be about all. So I do hope that you have a good rest of your day, and I will see you all next time. Peace.